Alright, now this one real quick, I'm gonna put two together. I'm gonna put um, ships, ship stocks that I'm following, and crypto together. Try to make it short. So first, let's start off with TSM. TSM has earnings coming up either August 4th, no, or that's Palantir, I think, or on the 8th, or I could be wrong until the 12th or whatnot. So, anyways, if we end up getting bad news tomorrow, which would then make the S&P not really creating a time high, but still maintain that bullishness. What you're gonna see is and depending what happens over the weekend and with earnings with the banks, this is gonna be your sweet spot to go for options. Because even if we do fall, because pretty much next week is a kickoff to everything, and especially this, I forgot there's a day. Um, Shit, that's too much. We got crypto the same day next week. Next week, let me see. Yeah, we got crypto Congress. Congress are talking about crypto. I think 15 or 16, or 16 through the 18th. But I believe it's these two. That's where you also. Besides that, I was telling you how crypto. I was telling you over the weekend how um, we were bullish. The market was gonna open happy. So anyway, back to this. My bad for getting off track. So I'm currently holding options, one contract of options ending Friday. Seeing with all this good news, I see that S&P is gonna end up closing higher, which is gonna lead all these lead the Palantir, Nvidia, and TSM to close. Because pretty much this is your bullish, like this is your typical pattern. It again, if it's rejected, it'll touch these low areas right here. But again, as we get to earnings, it should start picking up and blasting off. You can also see with Palantir how it was. I mentioned on my other videos how I was buying and actually have a bunch of option tradings open right here. Once I saw this, finally on Monday, I was like, oh, okay, we're gonna stay here and see the moves that we had, the data. We had the FOM, we had um, the tariffs and whatnot. Saw that getting off, the market open happy. Um, that indicates to me that the market was going to start picking up, and the market starts picking up, then you're also going to see Palantir, rise up to this part of the top seven. Especially after Nvidia did fucking what is it, trillion, 4 trillion. You're also gonna see these. So, anyways, again, if tomorrow we have good news, you see S&P creating to some high, we're most likely gonna close Thursday here or create a new all-time high. Um, but again, if not, we're gonna be right close. And depending what data or what news tweet we get on Friday, we're either gonna close the week somewhere here in this region, create support in this region, and then as we come to Monday, if we don't have no fucking bad news, you're gonna see Palantir probably open to the same. And again, anticipate the market, the S&P going up, all the data coming out. We should see Palantir hitting a new all-time high for first hitting 150 easily, especially with the earnings coming up on August 4th. And if all these banks and whatnot start kicking out these fucking dope numbers, you're seeing it already play out. You saw it with Bitcoin, S&P, how it dropped, how it was. Anyways, let's move on to Nvidia. Again, create a new all-time high for trillion. Depending how we open tomorrow, the S&P, if the S&P ends up breaking out and up and goes to the next box and so on and so on, what I mentioned, then you're gonna see Nvidia open on a new all-time high, and we're most likely gonna open at 6. I believe it opens at 6:30, right? 6 or 7. Either way, once it opens, I wouldn't be surprised if Nvidia, it's gonna be at 165 or 164, just ready to fucking move. And once the market opens at 6:30 or 7, whatever it is, the market's gonna fucking, especially if the data at 5:30 is positive. Once we get to 6:30, you're gonna see more movement, more excitement. Yeah, the market's going up. We're gonna, again, I'll manipulate it, but yes, that's what I see happening. Now let's go on to crypto. I told you guys that down here in this region, the fact that last week we had that dump because of whatever bullshit, but notice how during the week it was reacting. If this little drop was really what it was about, whatever it was about, the market would have kept on falling, and that would have signaled to me that the S&P was going to close bad because there was something happening to the market, not to Bitcoin or Ethereum, because Bitcoin and Ethereum are synchronized with the regular market. They're synchronized with the S&P. So the fact that it was holding like this throughout the weekend, I was like, okay, we're good. Nothing bad happened, news, whatnot. Otherwise, you would have seen this, but fucking just this all of a sudden, especially at 6 in the morning, 5 in the morning. Yeah, when we close a 12-hour candle, that would have been strong. A 12-hour candle closing fucking right below here when they couldn't do it. Right here, I'm guessing. What was that? Shit, I left it already. 2, 3. Oh, but yeah. So the fact that it was so, my bad. There it is. Anyways, the fact that it was holding all this, the way it opened, I knew the market was gonna open fucking way happier. And we're coming to that Congress. Congress is gonna be saying a lot of keywords about crypto, and crypto's gonna go. Crypto's gonna love it. Some of it's gonna be sketchy. Hey, they use these words. They said they're gonna use blah 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 blah. So you're gonna start spreading all these fears because of certain clips that they fucking are gonna spread around. But besides that, market Bitcoin is gonna be doing good because they gotta mention a bunch of positive shit. All this is regulating the market. They're they're literally telling you, hey, this is what this is gonna do. This is what we consider this. They're laying down they're laying down the foundation of how, who's, what, where, what, all those questions. That before, when the market was by itself, there was there wasn't that tension. There was a whole bunch of scams, and it's for criminals, and it's go for gold. All this is that. But now that's getting regulated because part of this process, part of this is part of every new cycle. Just like when we had COVID, and these fuckers had to um, supposedly test it and do all this and that, and then finally come out. Same with this. They have to test it out. They have to take it out to the world. They have to know what it doesn't like. What it just setting it up. And interesting how nobody at work has even pointed out or anything about the market. That's crazy. Anyways, but I told you guys in my last video, on my captions, I said how Bitcoin was gonna create a new all-time high. I wouldn't be surprised if it did it tomorrow, but I said it's a new all-time high happening soon with Bitcoin. And there you have it. Along where you see where S&P is at, they're connected. If we have bad data, you want to see how bad Bitcoin and Ethereum fall down, especially when that data comes out, especially when the market opens. That tells you a lot. Bitcoin and Ethereum tell you a lot where the market's really going, especially after certain data comes out. So watch as tomorrow 5:30, you're gonna see some sort of movement. Also in Bitcoin and Ethereum, depending how strong they hold, just let me know that we're gonna continue. And then the market S&P 500 does this a lot. Where even if the data came out, hey, let's shrug it off and pay attention to the tariff deal, or let's pay attention to whatever positive shit's happening right now, so we can just avoid this, put it under the rug, and the market can just continue going up. And let's pay attention now to the banks because they're gonna be coming out next week, and or whatever bullshit it is, where the market will get manipulated, reverse, and start going up. XRP. XRP has been all over the news too, the banks, you name it. That's where you're seeing this movement right now. Besides, because crypto's going up. But this baby is about to blast pretty soon. Go for the 3 monthly. We have a 3 monthly. And we don't use that. Monthly. Yup, we're actually breaking this 3 monthly. Notice that supported thing hanging on. All this is bullish as fuck. Notice how this last 3 months goes out and tests the 50. I wonder which one was it. Anyways, we're bullish, you guys. We're bullish, especially because next week it's gonna be very volatile. But we're gonna have all this Congress and all those keywords. We're gonna love it. Pa da pa pa pa. And yeah, the market is just screaming, "Hey, we're about to fucking rally like crazy."